Hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. So Leos, this is going to be your reading. Just going to get right into it for you guys, no delay. Just make sure you check out the star signs in your birth chart to make sure you get the clarity you need from these readings. And I'm going to jump right in. So what's going on with Leos? Leos. Leos. Well, it does say that you feel like you've got problems, but people don't want to know that it's going to be over. Like something's not going to be over. You know that you've got clarity about things. People will pee on you and pick on you, but don't know how to speak about it and doesn't know how to solve the problem right now with you being unwell. And it does say that I know I could speak to you, but I feel like you're not in a good way. Or someone here feels like you're in a bad way as you didn't speak to them today. It doesn't say burdens are there, but you could have problems. And ideally, they need you. So they will support you to be unwell if you are, but speak to them. Okay, so someone's a bit bothered that you may not have spoken to them. You may work with them in some type of way, and they just want to know if you're okay because maybe they've reached out to you and you didn't say anything. Okay. All right. Anything else? Anything else? Doesn't say you've got bad news, but it does say you've got good news. So you've got to work on something. Okay. Okay. All right. So there is some type of challenge or victory here. Someone may want to challenge you, like ideally give you a gift in your mind to say they're sorry about harming you and also conquer the energies that they've been telling you are not going to be good for your mindset. Ideally take you down from a problem or build you up and give you a good atmosphere to live in your mind about. Just not giving you a bad reason to believe you've got good news. I don't want to see you in a bad way. So I warn myself not to speak about it, but I see negative people in the head of yours, or many of them not so great to you. And I'm warning you, I will challenge them and build your mind around the situation or bring you into judgment. Not really helping you with a situation, but causing you harm is not going to be easy. And it does say that you've got good news overall with your family. Not seeing that you've got a problem, ideally, you will have good news and not really care that you've got bad news. So you wonder if things are going to be okay. It's going to be absolutely great. But you warn yourself of this, and it's mostly that until someone challenges you, as there will be time to see if it's brewing. And people are brewing in their minds but can't say anything until today or maybe tomorrow or maybe another day, but don't want to say anything directly to you. Absolutely not. They just want to know that they call you in your minds about it after they've certified things that they want to tell you, after they've told themselves that they could or can't do something. Mind you, it's got to be their way. And how dare you speak about it to yourself is what they will say, because they don't want to harm you. But I know they do, is what you feel. And maybe even someone else around you. And it says they keep picking on you and bullying you or minding their manners that they shouldn't do it and still do it. And then they keep doing it again. Even when someone keeps speaking about how they should see things and do things, it doesn't make any difference. The person keeps doing what they're doing to harm you. Okay, and it does say you've studied enough about this to know. It doesn't say you want any complaints or any worries in your mind to deal with all the time. So you're not going to speak about it after it's resolved. But the truth is that you don't want no problems overall. So you don't need to speak about the situation. I know that I've had problems with people in my head all this year. And many times people keep giving me a bad omen. I know that I don't want to speak to you about it. And it does say people keep bringing them down. So they wondering, when do they get help in their head to solve problems of theirs and people's problems around them when they can't study yours, because other people keep targeting them for the same bad mood or same problems that you have in your mind about other people's problems that they're going through. It says many of them keep bothering you or bothering their mind too. Okay. No wonder they're blessed and cursed at the same time. They warn themselves not to stroke your ego, but they play along with other people's egos. And then they wonder why it doesn't work out. You haven't had your ego stroked yet. So maybe you should have your stroke to see if it's going to be good for you to have karma. Blessed karma, good karma, And no wonder they keep picking on you. It's not going to be you that has blessed karma until you take them down. But you have to take them down to see if it's going to work out. No wonder we're going to see you in a bad way. I warn you, you got to have good news, but when I see that you take us down. Yeah, only for a little while though. This is what I heard through the grapevine. It's not gonna last longer than five weeks. Okay? It does say you've got many things in your mind to trouble yourself with, but it does say you have to help yourself as well with things that you don't want to achieve. It's going to be you, but it does say they can't give you any good news for a long time. That's where they said they can, but they won't. And they realize that because they don't want to try and give you any good news overall. Exactly. So if they don't want to give you good news overall, the good news ain't going to last that long. You know, it's like, all right, I'm going to help you for a little while, but then I'm going to go back to picking on you, a little while after that. It's not genuine. Not genuine at all. It does say they're working up a sweat to communicate things to you and to grind in your mind about things that they don't want to trouble you with. Seeing is believing. You may not want to speak to someone, or you may want to challenge it. You have time to give yourself enough time to give yourself more time off. And it does say you can give yourself as much time as you need, as we have problems too. So whoever you could have been working with has problems too. Whoever you've been talking to or discussing your burdens with, they have problems too. It does say challenges are there for both sides of the party or the spectrum, and you do see you've got problems. They want to see that you've got better news though, as they walk away from situations, and want to know if you will see anything in your mind about the situation that they're in now. Troubled is you saying that you ain't got good news. Warning signs, you've got great news to move on and leave them alone as you wish. And it does say you wish to move on and leave them alone, as they want to leave you alone. And they probably don't want to, but they realize they've got to, because they're not speaking about it again. Okay. Maybe they're going to just be quiet now. Shut up. Anything else for you, my lovelies? Anything else for you, lovelies? Warning signs are there for you to evict your mind out of something and let go of something. Playing it safe is not going to be easy, but I told myself I've got to evict you. And I know that I'm going to evict you when I feel like it though. And if I say I'm going to evict you, I'm going to evict you. Things that I can't proceed with my mind about good news are going to be in your eviction notice. Blessed energy is there for me to say that you are evicted. I can't wait to tell you that you're going to be going on to something that's going to make you happy, but not really evicted from me. Evicted from your mindset, mostly that, because I can't tell you you're evicted. It's not going to be easy for me to challenge you and tell you to move out of your own lifestyle, your own home, your own business, your own family, everything that you've got, and still saw that you was okay as long as you had good news to move on from a problem that you hadn't had solved. It says people pick on you so much to the point it's not even worth looking at in a bad way. Like, it's got to stop. And it does say they realize they've got to stop. When they realize they've got to stop, they've got to stop. But the stupid man can't challenge his mind to say he's going to stop. So when is he going to do it? Okay. It does say he ideally wants to give you good news about your problems, and maybe even solve it with, I don't want to hear that you've got good news. Doesn't want to say that you've got good news. So how can he solve the problem with you saying you've got good news? Doesn't say that you have. You've blamed everybody in the building is what he says. Now he realizes he's got absolutely nothing to say, and warns himself if you ever tried him to pick on him, it's got to go down in another way. It says, you want to go to a jail cell or a courthouse or somewhere where I'm going to bring you. Maybe because they want to go there themselves. Leave us to be who we are. Why, when you are targeting me for a problem? I know it's going to be better than that, says this person to you. But it says it's not going to be better if you keep targeting me. I told you already, go down to your mind and think about why you keep bothering me, as you said to them, Leo. But it says it's not going to be easy for you to challenge them again, as they keep picking on you and challenging you and warning you that it's not going to be a good idea to keep picking on them in their mind about things you want to change. But then you keep bothering them, and it keeps bothering them that they have to change. So when are they going to change is what you've asked for. How could they change if you don't want to leave them alone to do so. It says, well, you don't want to leave me alone in my head and tell me something that I have to say is a better idea. And then I can say, all right, well, you're doing a good job now. It does say that you want to see that they're doing a good job. So whether you like it or not, you're going to pick on them the same way they've been picking on you. And karma will come to them and they'll see that they don't have a leg to stand on because they keep targeting your mind to have rude energies in their head and harm themselves. Really harm it. Like, do you know I'm not giving you good news? The fucking blame they have in their head, excuse my language, is not going to be easy as someone keeps targeting you to have bad moods. These men keep targeting themselves to have blamed you and warned you that they will keep doing it. And how dare you keep blaming me, they say. I know that I keep blaming you because I'm going to keep doing it. And then they wonder why they have to suddenly realize that it's not going to be over and pick on you again and still want to do it now. And rather not speak about who's coming back to say something again, they've got to see that they don't speak again in the next week, or else it's going to be trial and error. Because people keep saying that you will never stop until there is something called justice. Now, why should you not get justice? Is what someone else said. Someone says, well, you should get justice. All this time you've been burdened with problems of theirs, picking on your mindset for someone else's problems that never got resolved. Why would you not want to say something about it and feel like you've got justice? It doesn't even make sense for someone to keep saying that they've got to solve a problem and never solve it. It doesn't get solved. It always looks better in their mind how they feel like they've solved it, and always leaving you to feel like you never got any good result. You didn't get any good result and nothing set in stone, but people keep leaving you to wonder, do you ever get a good result? Because no one's trying to help you get a good result. And then they wonder why you've got good news in your mind to satisfy yourself and fuck them up with their mental health. No one says that it's a problem, but it's got to be a problem if she keeps talking about it. We are not going to build our minds around a problem. We have problems to deal with. We keep looking at people and targeting them with the same dirty enemy energy that we're always saying that they have problems with other people, especially in the neighborhood or around them in the community. And it does say they all say this because they target you and mentally always target you and many people around them. Like even in the workforce or other things they said they can't disclose, but people around them, other people that tell them they're dirty and how they work nasty and they're very mean about the way they work. They're absolutely greedy, mentally destroying people and trying to harm their reputation or bring them into a mindset of they're the problem and not them. Like blaming the person that needed the support, you know, that was going through something, and turning around and using blame back on them again at the same time. It does say that you understand what's going on with them and you realize that it's got to be this way in the way that they do things because that's the way they handle situations. And they realize they can't come out of this in the mind because they realize they're having problems again. Now, who's got this child that's got a problem? Every time I said a child could be involved. Now, warning, the child is never going to be my problem. It says, well, she knows that she's got a kid and this child is going to be there looking at her like, what the fucking hell? Are you going to tell me that you haven't got good news? Now, warning, I told you, you're not going to have good news, but your child is not going to tell me how to run my life in my workplace. And even if the child says it's not going to be a good thing, I'm not going to let your child feel like it's got a good thing. It says they know that they want to harm you, your family, and your children, and mentally ill or not, they could not care less. They want to harm you many times over and see if it's going to work. That they could harm you and your family. And they keep doing this. And they wonder why they've got a bad omen coming, because this judge is going to be nasty. It's going to be helped in the way that you see and never helped in the way that you see. Because you do know that you've got bad news overall with them. And they keep picking on you, and karma is coming to your mum or your dad or your family and anyone else. But no one in their life is going to have good news, is what you keep saying. So it's like it doesn't end. It just keeps going round and around in a circle. And it does say that you keep building bridges in your mind to pretend that you've got good news, but you don't. But then you absolutely realize that one day it's got to happen. So even if they keep picking on you, what's going to happen then? And it does say, I will pick on them and I will fuck them up. So I'm not going to play along with them. I just have to allow them to see they're never going to have good news with me. And they'll always wonder if they have to pick on me. And meanwhile, they're going to have to see that they're never going to be good to themselves. They're always going to be nasty, is what I said. I realize this. I know who they are. But you don't know who you are. You're always targeting people to certify your mind being bad. And you know what? You like being bad because you warned yourself to stay there in my mindset and be bad. And they know that they keep targeting the mindset of yours to pick on you and absolutely pick on themselves, because the diamonds that are in their head right now, wondering if they should really look into things clearly, are not working. They're not seeing anything great about what it is that they're saying to you. And they see that they're not going to clarify good news to you, even though they clarify bad news coming to them. They have to help themselves with bad news. They warn themselves that they're going to get good news and still not get good news because it's going to go to trial. And then they realize it's going to go down in the way that you said, how they will get harmed, and they will get harmed as they target this problem. Okay. Bloody hell, Leo. It's a lot of trial and error with this situation you're going through. Anything else for Leos? No one is seeing you as a good person right now. Oh dear, that's not nice, is it? That could be someone's judgment though. Someone's saying that, yeah, it is. Someone's judging you. Okay, this could be an air sign. This could be a water sign. Cancerian, Pisces. But someone's judging you. And it does say that they realize that you're not going to have good news when you have good news. So even though you've got good news, they're not going to take on that good news to use it as good news to feed you back with, you know, some blessed energy from them. Yeah? They're evil. They don't want to know that they can come to me and speak to me in a way that they're going to speak to you. So let them keep bullying you and tell me that you're going to have good news after I've spoken to them, because I told you I will help you. So someone wants to help you. It could be a judge, it could be some type of officer, or it could be, you know, some type of authority figure of some sort. So, you know, and hopefully you can trust that it's going to be good. So I've got Scorpio in my head. You might want to check out Scorpio's reading for some of you guys that could be going through a situation with Scorpio energy, or just a Scorpio, or there's a Scorpio involved in some way maybe. But yeah, it could even mean something needs to change. But yeah, it does say that you've got problems to deal with someone, and they may not have led you down the wrong path, but it had you in your head like, I can't trust anyone because I'm not getting any resolved situations. I'm not getting anything sorted out or resolved. There's no resolution. Okay, so let's see, is there anything else for you guys? Anything else for Leos? Doesn't say that you all want sex, but you may want sex at times and you realize you don't really need it at this time. You may just want to know it's there, or comfort energy is there, but you may feel like there's bad news with you. So it might not work out for you to have sex when you feel grumpy or moody or unattractive in some way. Okay, let's see what else. Anything else for the Leos? Anything else for the Leos? Leos are not going to give you any time to wonder if you're in love with them. They want to know that they have problems with you all. Hello, I am a Leo and I don't want to talk to anyone right now. So some of you guys don't want to talk to nobody right now. Okay, you might want to keep your distance from certain people, or just have some time to yourself. Maybe you feel a little bit down, depressed, or in a mood in some way. Doesn't say that you do see it in that way all the time, but you just may not want to be bothered. Okay, you may not want to be bothered. You may not even be, you know, nasty to anyone. You just don't want to be bothered. And it does say some of you are looking forward to best friend energy with someone else. Or maybe even see that someone's going to come in and solve your problems. Like maybe there is someone out there that has a better new idea to help you build romance or build something that's going to set you free from problems or give you good news overall about your home, your life, your family, your money, or even things that have buried in the sand and still need to come out because it's going to bother you that it doesn't. And it does say someone here wants to know that you see that you have got things buried in the sand, but it doesn't mean that you have. Let them feel like they've got problems because they have got mental health problems, but they're not going to bring it out on you directly. It's in reverse or indirect. And it says it's not going to happen at all as you move past them and look forward to blaming nobody else in your mind. And furthermore, you want to have peaceful moods. So you don't want to build more problems and say that I have a problem. You just have to leave them to wonder if their dirty mindsets can pick on you again, and then you fuck them up with problems of their own. Okay? Anything else? Anything else for the Leos? Anything else for the Leos? Okay. It does say you're contemplating marrying someone or even taking your time with something that you've got to say. Maybe even looking forward to a best friend energy with someone, or maybe even looking back at a situation you said, I'm not even going to go there with a person. And then you realize you've just got to take your time with some things that you said. I'm praying for a particular type of person, and I feel like options is better for me right now to look into. So you could be looking into your options about something right now. Okay. Anything else for the Leos? It doesn't say more than this. It needs to be held against you, is what someone's saying. Someone says, I need to hold something against you so you can feel bad about your life. Yeah, this could be an earth sign. This could be either a Taurus or a Virgo or Capricorn. And it does say someone here feels like they know justification in your mind is not going to be helpful about who you are. So it doesn't help them to seek apologies or even straighten you out with the things that they said they want for you. They borrow time to see if you're going to have problems of theirs. They've got mental health problems of the same problem they want you to go through. They've got that problem. They see problems for themselves. Okay. And it does say they laugh at you and make fun of you, but they can't laugh anymore because they've got teens coming to evict their mindset off of you and build a mind reads upon themselves about how they should treat you. And never mind why they said they need to treat you better. They will warn themselves to have better news in their minds and never mind speak about you again in your word, in your war, or in the words that you've used as they've said, I know I could manipulate a situation or even practice being negative. So I know that I'm picking on myself. Hello, I said I'm not going to pick on myself. But the thing is, she also knows that you're very, very mad at yourself. You keep picking on her and then she wonders why you're not going to get picked on back. You're going to get picked on. And this one will clasp her head on you and judge you until you realize who you are. You're not going to understand her because she's not going to stop picking on your head. And when you realize that you've got drama and karma coming from this mind, you're going to pick on your brain even more. So when it says this woman wants to know who you are and still can't figure you out, it says, I know who I am and I'm not going to give up. I realize I'm going to deal with you and I'm going to certainly cloud my head around yours and fuck you up. And it does say Scorpio is ready to deal with you, Leo, or even another person around you. But they warn themselves not to pick on you too much because they got to harm themselves a little bit to get by and not really pick on you that much because they warn you. At times they're there for you. And some of them are really taking care of you. So someone here is loving on you sexually, emotionally, and taking care of your burdens, your problems, your pain, your joys, and mental health people around you. And don't know how to certify their mind with good news as they're getting targeted for you, or maybe even getting targeted for you in the mindset of yours. As you see that problems may not come out of the situation, they want to know that they've got problems to give you. And every day they will give you problems. This mindset is going to give you problems. I shadow myself around you. It does say that I warn myself I'm going to give you a problem. It is me that's going to give you a problem. Now, I do see there's an earth sign person here, or this could be an Aries, but someone wants to take a risk and rush into some type of um lack of perspective, because they know they're not going to be heard, but at the same time they want to know that they're going to listen to themselves again, or even listen to you judge them. And this person says, I know that this person will judge you. A Leo says this person will judge you, so warn yourself you're going to have bad news and stop picking on her. Let me see if I can pick on myself though. If I told her I said something wrong, maybe she wouldn't laugh at me so much, but you're warned to laugh at yourself a little bit, because why did you tell her you was going to give her good news and you couldn't give her good news? She will dash me out of her mind once I've told her I have better news to give her. Now, I warn myself I'm not going to give her good news, but I realize I've got to give her something to make her feel like she's got problems solved. And no one told me that I had to give her this, but I have to find a way to steal from the mindset of my own to give it to her, because they're not going to help me to give it to her. But I said I will try to give it to her through my mind. That way I know I'm solving her problem with me and not with them. So this person knows they have to work in a way that everybody's doing things in their team, in their work environment, right? But because you've said something, or someone around you has said something to this person, okay, to back you up or back up the situation that you guys are having, all right, or even tell this person off in some type of way for the way they've been mistreating you or treating you, okay, this person now realizes that they've got to help solve a problem for their mental health, if that makes sense, because they see that their agenda is not really like the team, because it's their job to be like the team, but their moral outside of that is not the same, and they have to justify why they are supporting you in your mindset and not the way they're doing things as a team in that environment. It's like she took herself out of her own perspective to be like her colleagues or her workmates, to come down on you in a negative way, and realizes she can't do that because of her own moral guidance system telling her, well, it's better for you to get justice in the way you see things, because she understands that you should have got some type of respect or justice. Do you see what I'm saying? My goodness. And it says it's not going to be solved overnight. And now they're bothered that you are calling them out for problems. It does say, we know that we've got many of you telling us off. Ha ha. Many of them are telling us off at this time. So many residencies, so many problems, so many people, so much in the mindset, so much communities. Okay, so much problems that it's coming to us in full flood. And many of them are going down. Down, down, down. As I said, I am the building society, and I will make sure they all go down. So it sounds like for some of you guys, you're dealing with either an estate agency or a housing association, or maybe a council. And it does say that you are all going to go down with the problem that they want to see for you, as they are not treating you fairly. And there's many people attacking them right now, but they're making sure that they're firing back in a way that everyone is hurt. So sad. Doesn't say that it's going to have good news for everyone, but you will get good news. I know this because I'm going to make sure we turn things around for you, but I can't tell you yet. I'm just going to pick on my mind and harm you a little bit until I turn it around. Well, I don't know why this person feels like they have to harm you to turn it around, but maybe it's because they have to follow what certain people are saying in their team, you know, and then off of their moral back, somehow they turn it around. Don't ask me how that's going to be done. I keep hearing Scorpio energy. So it could be that something's going to change, or Scorpio energy is trying to help you in some type of way. But it does say you could be working with a Scorpio, or becoming a Scorpio mindset, or maybe even troubling your mind to see that Scorpio energy is going to solve your problems. Okay. So let's see what's going on from there. Anything else for the Leos? Okay, you are worried about something here, and it could be all of this drama, but it does say to keep calm. You have stirred no problems in your mind to see that you could keep wanting to move forward and study this and move on from a drug problem in your mind, or maybe even painkillers, as some of you guys could be on medication, or even seeing that you need support right now because you've got a headache. Okay, because this situation could be giving you a lot of headache. Okay, it does say that they do not have to worry about problems in their mindsets all the time, but they know that they've got problems and you know that you've got problems. So when they see that I have not got problems, I'm not going to deal with the situation. As this mind game keeps being played by the woman that doesn't want to know that she's got a problem, she will see that she's got mental health problems and serve it in a way that she has good news and doesn't want to solve her problems with any bad news, because she knows that she can trial the situation with her problems and say that she's got mental health or she's got problems with people that are picking on her. But she knows that it's not going to be easy, as she picks on people too much. And this is why the ideal man has to come out and solve the problem, because she keeps picking on people and the mental health is not well. Well, even if it's not well, we have to support her. And that's where it goes wrong, because if you support her to have good news with her mindset being mad, then it's going to harm people. How do we change this is what they want to say. Now they realize they should solve your problem, but they can't solve it without getting someone involved. Now, who's going to see that you've got bad news? Warning, I will tell you off. Then I realize I've got to tell you off in a way that you don't like. Then I keep telling you, you will be the one that's going to have a problem. If she has mental problems, then I know that I'm going to give you problems, because I have females in my head telling me that I've got mental health. But I'm not going to warn you of that. Now, even if I told you that, would it change the outcome of the situation? Because ideally, I have problems too, but I'm not trying to flaunt them in a way that you are going to tell me that I have great news. Only I want to see that you can look after people regardless of their situation with mental health. And even when mental health is the answer, is it that you keep using mental health to pride yourself over the problem? Because people keep using you as a target to banish out bad things and don't get anywhere, because you only want to solve people's problems when they've got mental health problems or sicknesses. Is that what you're saying? Now, I know that I do this, but I have to do it, is what they're saying to you or saying directly to themselves. Now, warning signs are there for them to say they have to stop because it's not working. Whoever told them it's going to work is not going to be warning them anymore that it's working, because it's not.
Coming in.
And they
I
keep
see money
peeking on
coming
you
in
right now
I
as
see
they
good
say it's
karma,
got to be done.
good
So
fortune
at this
is on
time,
its
it's
way
going
to
to be
you.
done in that way.
I see you've
But
had
it
to make
doesn't get solved
decisions,
anyway.
and
It
ideas
gets worse.
have come about to help
The
you
situation just becomes
take
worse
off in some type
when
of
they,
area in
you
your
know,
life. I see new
allow
changes
the mental
coming
health
about. For
person
some
to
of
keep
you that are looking
targeting
forward to
everyone
bless
and backing
energy
up that
in
mental health
regards
problem
to
of that
news that you'll
person's
be
in a way where they're
getting,
causing
things that
harassment
you have
and
manifested,
giving problems
or
to
even
everybody
feeling
else
like you're
and
putting
allowing
in the
them to get away
work
with
in
it,
areas of your career,
basically.
in areas of your studies, in areas
So
that
it
you may
doesn't say anything
prosper
bad
in
that is
financial
happening. It
gains,
does say
even
that
if
you've
that's
got
purchasing a new
kids that
home
have
or
problems with these
vehicle,
things too, and we
or
can't
even
trial or
a
error your
person
mind, but we
coming
know that the
along
child has to
and
be safe and
helping
well.
you
So
to
we may
gain
not
what it
speak to you
is you
again about
need.
the
I
problem.
also
We
see
will look at
somebody
you
wants
and
to
move you
gift you
out of your
something
mind
and a
about the
lover.
problem, and maybe even see that you can't have problems anymore. Because I told myself, this woman says, I know I've got problems, but I'm not going to give you my problems. I always said to myself, I'm not going to cause a scene. I'm not going to give you a problem for you to feel like it's going to be me that's judged. And I'm never going to give you a problem where I feel like I've got problems to give you. So even if you want to turn around and say, oh, I am complaining, I'm never going to target you and tell you that I've got problems that I'm going to fuck you up with because of my mental health. And even if you do, miss, I don't want to, because you're going to try and challenge me in a way that is nasty and maybe even make me look like I have problems. Now, I don't want to know that you're going to give me the time or the energy to say that you want to use me as a problem and then fuck me up later on. I could never do that though. It says that you would if you felt like you was targeted. Now, where's it going with neighbors and people in the pride of their ownership and their tenancies and everywhere else in the community? You would harm them. So them as a company, they are protected. But those in the community, those as tenants or those as homeowners, they are going to be harmed. And it does say that this person continues to harm people in that way. And you would never know when it's going to happen. But the warning signs are there for you to see that you're not being honest about something, as they do know that they can try and warn themselves to move on and still be nasty. And that's all it is, just being nasty. Bloody hell. So you have to deal with situations right now that are causing you concern, and maybe even go past the attitudes that they don't know if it's going to work out for you or not, because they can't come to you with good news, and they're warning themselves to stop picking on you as they speak, and they want to know that they can stop, but they still pick on you, and it's sad. As this situation unfolds, you'll see by next week or next 2 months, it's going to be clarified as good news for you, but not yet. So wait a while, it says, and it's going to happen for you very soon. So I'm going to speak to you again soon, my lovelies, as this reading is coming to an end. But I will put out another reading to give you more clarification about the situation. So speak to you soon. Ciao for now. Bye.